9 videos, the science, the measurement, the techniques, the real-world application, the advanced practice. Now I want to talk to you about what you actually came here for. Not the how, the what. What does life actually look like and feel like when coherence becomes a trained state? What changes? Let me show you. I want to start with something important. The changes I'm going to describe in this video are not theoretical. They're not projections of the best case scenarios. They're what I've watched happen repeatedly, consistently, in people who've committed to this training. Executives, entrepreneurs, leaders, driven people who came in skeptical and data-oriented and not particularly interested in anything that sounded like wellness. People like you. And what happened to them is what I want you to understand is possible for you. Not someday, not after years of work, within weeks of consistent training, and often sooner. The first thing that changes, and often the first thing people notice, is sleep. Not just duration, but quality. But here's what most people don't understand about sleep. The depth and restorative power of sleep is directly governed by the state of the autonomic nervous system going into it. A nervous system in chronic sympathetic activation, hypervigilance, does not transition cleanly into deep restorative sleep. It stays partially activated. Cortisol remains elevated. The brain stays in mid-threat detection mode even during sleep. You might sleep 7 or 8 hours and wake up unrestored and not understand why. As coherence becomes a trained state, as the baseline shifts, your sympathetic dominance towards greater autonomic balance, the transition into deep sleep improves. HRV during sleep, which is one of the most sensitive measurements of sleep quality available, rises. Deep sleep stages lengthen. REM becomes more complete. The brain does the consolidation and restoration work it was designed to do overnight. People describe waking up differently, not just less tired, more themselves, more present in the morning, more resourced, and more ready. And that's not a small thing. It's the foundation of what everything else is built on. And the second change is cognitive clarity. And this one in particular is meaningful for the kind of person this channel is built for. Because cognitive performance is an asset. It's what you've built your career on. It's what people pay you for and rely on and expect from you. And when it starts to erode, even slightly, it's one of the most unsettling things a high performer experiences. Here's what happens when coherence becomes trained. Your prefrontal cortex, the seat of executive function, strategic thinking, sound judgment, and emotional regulation, is directly enhanced by cardiac coherence. As we discussed in video 1, the heart sends more signals to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. And the ordered, coherent rhythm produces ordered, supportive signals to the prefrontal cortex. As coherence becomes a more frequent state, your prefrontal cortex is more consistently online. Decision-making becomes clearer, less effortful, and that mental fog starts to lift. Pattern recognition improves, creative thinking expands, the sense your mind is working with you rather than against you comes back. And the reactive characterized high-stress state, the tunnel vision, the catastrophizing, the difficulty seeing under pressure begins to loosen its grip. People describe it as getting their mind back. And that's exactly what it is. The third change is presence, and with it, relationships. This is the one that surprises people most because they didn't come here for their relationships. They came here for their performance. But here's what the nervous system in hypervigilance does in presence. It pulls you somewhere else. Not dramatically, not obviously, but consistently. You're in the conversation, but part of you is processing somewhere else. Scanning, planning, managing, anticipating. The people close to you feel it before you do. Your partner, your children, your closest colleagues. There's a layer of distance, a glass plane between you and the moment. It's not intentional. It's not a character flaw. It's a nervous system in chronic fight or flight. It keeps part of your attention on the threat environment even when there's no threat. As coherence becomes trained, your nervous system learns that it's safe to be here, fully, without scanning for danger, and presence returns. No performance pressure, no trying harder to engage, genuine full presence, the kind where you're actually in the conversation, actually in the room, actually with people in front of you. The people who know you will notice it before you do. What comes back with presence is connection, warmth. The relationship that chronic stress quietly eroded begins to repair. Not through effort, but through availability, through being there. Fourth change is how you lead. And I want to be precise about what changes here, because it's not what most people expected. Coherence training does not make you more softer as a leader. It makes you sharper, more accurate, and more effective. Here's what shifts. A leader operating from a hypervigilant nervous system leads from a reactive place. Decisions get made from the narrowed, threat-detected brain. Conflict gets managed from an activated state. The team, whether they can name it or not, senses the tension. They adapt to it. They manage up to their leader's nervous system rather than doing their best work. A leader operating from a coherent nervous system leads from their prefrontal cortex, full online. Decisions are broader, clearer, more considered. Conflict is met with steadiness rather than reactivity. The team senses that steadiness, and that creates the physiological safety that produces their best work. Let me close with two things that tend to get high performers' attention. Physical health first. The state we've been talking about across this entire series has documented significant effects on physical health over time. Cardiovascular risk, immune suppression, metabolic dysregulation, inflammatory markers, hormonal depletion. These are not soft concerns. They're the leading drivers of health problems that take high performers out of the game, often at the exact moment their life and career are at their peak. Coherence training directly addresses the autonomic nervous system state that drives these risks. Reduced cortisol, improved HRV, which is an independent predictor of cardiovascular health and longevity. Enhanced immune function, improved hormone balance, reduced systemic inflammation. This is not wellness optimization. It's disease prevention at the level of the system that drives most chronic disease. And the bottom line. I'll say this simply. A leader who sleeps well thinks more clearly. A leader who thinks more clearly makes better decisions. A leader who is fully present builds better teams. A leader with a regulated nervous system generates the kind of trust and physiological safety that produces results. Every single thing that coherence training improves, sleep, cognitive function, presence, emotional regulation, physical health, has a direct line to performance, to output, to the bottom line. This is not a wellness program with performance benefits on the side. This is performance optimization at the level of the system that runs everything. 9 videos ago, you didn't know what coherence was. Now you understand the science, the measurement, the techniques, and what becomes possible when this becomes trained. You understand you're not broken. You understand you're not burning out because you weren't strong enough. You are not slipping because you lost your edge. You're just over-adapted, and that can be retrained. That's the whole message of this channel in one sentence. If you've watched these 10 videos and something in you has shifted, if you recognize yourself in what we've covered and you're ready to go deeper, I want to talk to you. The program I run is called the Coherence Shift. It's a doctor-led training that takes everything I've taught on this channel and builds it into a complete measurable system with live sessions, HRV tracking, one-on-one coaching, and a community of people doing the work alongside you. To find out more and get connected, join my free Skool course. The link is below. It's a great place to dip your toe in the water of coherence for free. In the meantime, stay on the channel, subscribe if you haven't, share this with someone who needs it, because the person who needs this work is really the person who asks for help. They're the one who watches every video quietly, alone, wondering if anyone else feels how they do. Send it to them, and I'll see you in the next video.